So welcome. Stay seated if you're all good, and hello to all the occupiers of ICT Place that are streaming online with us. So thanks for being here. We have an in-person class as well, so please feel free to come join us anytime you feel like it. Any week we'll be here. It's usually Dora taking this class, but I'm Viv taking it for today, and it's good to be. So let's get nice and comfy. So you're all happy sitting for stage, which is great. So we're going to open up the back to start with, but when you first sit down, think of it as an arrival. So you're sinking into my bones, and then noticing how you are on both sides of your body. Do you feel even? Do you need a little bit of shuffle time? How's it feeling for you? Yeah. I'm going to take the arms out in front, and this is a really nice way to open up the back. So inhale, go do it slowly first. So inhale, open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then turn the hands over, and then round the lower back. Exhale, you might even roll back a little bit of that around. And then again, inhale, open it up. Exhale, roll it back. Now, depending on your back, keep going, by the way. Depending on your lower back, you might not come forward, or if you do, let the chest come forward as well. And then exhale. So you're keeping the back nice and long, rolling it back. So you can make these circles as big as you like. Just make sure you're following the breath of the inhale opens you up. Every exhale rolls you back. Just take a few more of these. Close your eyes so you get a really nice sense of the movement. When we shut down one of the senses, we become much more aware of our own body. One more in and out. And then just coming back to finding a resolution. Back to that stillness. And then just dropping your right hand to the floor and have the left arm up. Get nice and tall here, and then just let yourself fall over this side. So try not to think in balletic terms, where we're kind of a bit more pointy. Be nice and soft in your body. Just kind of let yourself hang here a little bit. It's nice to close the eyes, you can do that here too. Yeah, and I'm going to slowly lower this top hand down to the floor. Just let it come down where it falls. And then slowly sweep the hands over to the other side. And then come back in reverse. So your left hand on the floor. And then start to look underneath your right shoulder. Maybe up towards the ceiling, maybe not. Let yourself be more of a ragdoll here. And then gently push the floor away with that left hand. Back up. Now come up onto all fours. If you're comfortable in your knees and your hips rolling forward, let's go this way. If you're happy to go to the side, do that. So whichever way, listen to your body. Whatever feels better for you. It's not always wise to go with the knees, but if it's the right for you, alright, so from here, let's keep the movement in our back. So just let your hips sway side to side so that you can feel some S shapes in your spine. And then we're going to make those circles a little bit bigger. We're going to take the hips to the right, push into the hands, draw the hips back until we get towards the heels, swap over to the other side, and then forward again. So start to make these circles with your bottom. And bending your elbows, tucking your chin towards the chest will give you more movement as well. So really start to bend and turn. And the nice thing about being on all fours is that your back is fully supported. There's no strain on it, you're just moving around that spine. And if you're going around in circles, then swap the direction and go the other way. So keeping everything nice and in balance, both sides. And then just gently coming back into the center again. Yeah. Alright, so from here, take your right hand off the mat, lean on that, and then let your left leg go out behind you. But keep the toes on the floor. Keep the toes on the floor. And then start to peel over the left hand. So you're bringing yourself up to the side. That's it. Now see if you can get the left heel on the floor. Yeah. Excellent. Then just maybe turn your torso a bit if it allows. It doesn't matter if it doesn't. Then bring the top arm up over the ears. You reach towards the front. So then slowly bring that hand back down towards the mat. Take your right hand back on the mat as well. Left knee comes down. We're going to do the other side. So take your left hand off the mat. If you take the hand off the mat to the side, you've got more to lean on and left knee will go down. So right toes go out behind you, then let the right heel come down. Press into the floor so you can rotate your chest towards the ceiling a bit. Right hand up and over the ear. If you don't want to take it into a back arch, of course, just keep it nice and easy to the side. And then slowly find the floor with that right hand and bring the left hand back on the floor as well. Back on your knees. So then tuck the toes under. And start to get a really good grip of your toes. And then we are going to go into a plank. So we're coming into it just an easier way. So hold your hands slightly further forward. Have your toes tucked under. Then just think about it this way. You're flicking your heels away, so the knees lift up and now bring yourself just down a little bit. Your hips lift up, your hips lifting out your belly. Just keep that belly lifted a little bit. So you're tucking your navel into your spine. And keep drawing your navel into the spine and push into the hands so you start to draw the hips back and you come into your down dog. Just push the floor away. And ease yourself back. Yeah, nice. And we'll do the same coming forward again. So inhale, come forward into your plank. Inhale, come forward. Push into the hands. Exhale, draw the body back. Nice. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to walk the feet towards the hands really slowly. Take it really mindfully, each step at a time. Just gently bringing it forward until you get up to the top of your mat. And then you'll find you come right up into if your fingertips don't touch, it doesn't matter, just take more to the shins. Yeah, so from here, draw your shoulders back, take a nice inhale. And then exhale, really bend your knees and just hand over your legs. Doesn't matter about having straight legs, just let yourself fall over. So bend the knees more, and then you can stick your bottom up. And then just really stick your bum up and let your body hang over from your hips. Have a little sway side to side. So fingertips touch the floor. If they don't, bend your knees more. Nice and comfortable with that. It's not if they touch your bum. Yeah. All right, and then slowly we're going to come up to standing. So press into your feet. Slowly push the floor away. Gently, gently, gently. The head comes up last. Shoulders go up. So always being conscious of blood rush to the head. So the minute we stand up, we go, oh, especially the feet. So just be aware of that. All right, so from here, we're going to take a nice inhale, lift the arms up. And just take hold of your left wrist, get a little bit of bend on that side, and then a little bend in the knees, and exhale over to the right side. Press into the floor of the feet, so inhale, come up, swap it over, exhale. Inhale back to the center. Now notice I'm keeping my knees bent. Take your hands out in front, a little bit like dragging the trunk. So be comfortable with bending your knees. Maybe sort of sink into that space. We don't have to have straight legs. So guys, inhale, go towards your left. All the way around your head, and then exhale, come down as far as is comfortable for you. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, bring you down. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, coming down. Swap directions whenever you feel like it. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale, brings you down. Notice that when you press into your feet, it lifts you up. You push the floor away. One more circle like that. And coming back down to hanging over our legs. Now, from here, if you notice me, I've got my knees really, really bent. So take your hands into your hip creases, so right at the top of your thighs. Gently press into those, you stick your bottom out, and then you hang over your legs. So keep your knees really bent so that you can get a very long back. So if you imagine that you're hanging over a bar in a children's play park, and then let yourself go there. You release your hands. Try turning your toes in very slightly to the back. Yes, and then let your head go as well. That's it. Really nice and loose here. So you're just hanging over like a ragdoll. Yeah. Right, so slowly we're going to uncurl again, coming all the way back up to standing. So really, really slowly press the floor away and bring yourself up, noticing your blood rush, inhale, lift your arms up. Come right up onto your toes, push your seat away. That way. And then exhale, pulling down one side, so just coming down one side. More safe if you're about to come down the side way. Yeah. Take your hands on your shins, take a nice inhale here. Now find the floor with your hands and then stepping it back into your plank. Now if you want to use your knees, use your knees. Otherwise, just slowly have a back. If you have to go back, let me use the knees on the all the way down to the floor. Nice. Now let your toes go flat. Any moment you don't need any muscles you're not using, just relax them. From here, we're just going to press gently. Inhale, lift ourselves up, but don't press the floor away. Try and squeeze the shoulder blades together so it's not your lower back that's impacted. You need to take our hands off. Yeah, great. And take the hands down. Now start to bring the hips up. So again, there's no arch in the lower back. Easing into a child's pose. Now take your knees nice and wide, have your toes together, and then just sink back into your child's pose. Have a little sway side to side. Feel the back lengthening. Keep creeping your hands forward. Imagine that you're getting length from your armpits. So getting really nice and long through the armpits. Yeah, extending through the back. One more breath here. Feel the breath coming into the rib cage, extending and retracting on the exhale. And then your next inhale, coming back up onto all fours, tuck your toes under, lift up the knees, push the heels back into a plank, and then down dog. All the way back. Yeah. I turned to the other direction because of the screen. I just realized I should be facing that. All right, so leaning onto your left foot, lift up your right foot behind you. Just take it up nice and high. Come right onto your left toes. I'm going to step that right foot forward in between our hands. So just gently stepping the right foot forward. Don't worry if you have to grab your foot and bring it forward. That's absolutely fine. All right, pausing here. Keep your left fingertips to the floor and lifting up your right hand. So left fingertips, come right up onto your left fingertips so you can get even higher. Yeah. That's so nice. Good. Breathing here, maybe turning the torso, maybe not. Great. And then bring the right hand back down to the floor. Now just walk that left foot in a tiny bit and bend your left knee. Look forward, press the floor away, and inhale, come up. Coming off the ground up, yeah. And then as you breathe out, just let it all go. Just relax here like you're dropping it all. And then the inhale is the energetic breath. So spread your fingers, make everything move. Inhale, lift yourself up. You need to straighten the front leg if it happens. And then exhale, relax it. Sit down. One more like that. Inhale, lifting up. And then letting it go. Bring the hands down. Step the right foot back into your plank. If you want to take your knees down, take your knees down. Otherwise, exhale down to the floor. Let your belly come down. Let your toes go flat. Take a nice inhale, push the floor away, sweep the knees out to the sides, toes together, round through the lower back. Exhale. Yeah, great. Breathing into that space. Breathing into the back. Feeling the ribs coming away from the spine on every inhale. Every exhale, softening. One more breath in and out here. And then keeping your hands out in front, inhale, coming back up, tuck your toes under, flip the heels away, high plank, down dog. Keep yourself back. That's great. All right, so letting your hips sway side to side in your down dog. Just gonna let them sway around a little bit. Maybe walking one knee in and then the other, just kind of taking that dog for a walk, easing into it. And then when you're ready, just lean more onto your right foot and then have your left leg up. Don't even think about how high it goes, whether it's straight or whether it's turning the hip out. Just enjoy that feeling. Just lifting it up nice and wide. And then come right onto your right toes. Just a little lift here. Keep the hips high as you step the left foot forward in between your hands. Take your time, there's no rush. Yeah. And once you're there, keep your right fingertips to the floor, lifting up your left hand. So really opening up nicely. Turning a little bit. And then bring the left hand down to the floor. Look forward, bend the back knee. Maybe hop the back foot in a tiny bit for stability. Press the floor away. Inhale, lifts you up. You can straighten everything out if you want, putting the fingers. And then exhale. Let it go. And again, inhaling. Let it go. And again. Let it go all the way to the floor. The hands come down, but step your right foot to meet your left. Nice. And then slowly uncurl, coming all the way back up. Standing, head coming up last, drop the shoulders. And just taking a moment here, closing your eyes. Just noticing how you feel. Notice if your knees feel locked, or if you can let the knees relax. Notice if your shoulders feel high, or if they can just drop. Notice your breath, if you're holding it, or if it's easy. Just connecting with yourself for a moment. Noticing any body sensations. Worrying too much about the traffic. What happened? What matters. Alright, and then gently open your eyes. Take a nice inhale, make it as big as you like. And then just fall down the other side. Whichever side you didn't go down before. Just exhale down that way. Yeah. Once your fingertips come to the floor, just lean onto the right foot and step the left foot back. Nice. Yeah. Now we're going to drop the left knee down to the floor. So, especially with a lower back issue, keep your body facing forward so there's no bend in the back. Let your back toes go flat because you don't need those right now. Take your left hand off the mat. So again, you've got more leaning power. Open up your right foot so you can see the sole and let this knee just roll out the side. Now, if you want to take your right hand just above the knee on the other thigh, and then draw your left shoulder forward so you start to look over your right shoulder. And that will help to, you've got it right. If you open up your knee, you need to have your right leg quite far forward. So your heel further forward than your knee. So walk it slightly, further forward would be easier. That's it. And then try again. Open up the foot. Right hand just in back level. Yes, and now you start turning towards that right shoulder. You'll feel it in your glutes. You'll feel it in your hip. Yeah, breathing to that. So it's a little bit of a twist. It's almost like a bump in the ear. And gently push the floor away. Bring yourself back up. Now take the right foot back down on the floor. Have both fingertips either side of it. We're going to lift up the toes and just draw the head back. So again, keeping a nice long straight lower back. Just draw the head back. So you'll feel that in this hamstring, the back of the calf. And it's really good to have a little sway side to side just to allow that to open rather than jarring into the thumbs, just easing into that space. Yeah, and I'm going to take the left hand off to the side again with a flat hand, and then reach up the right hand. So with a straight leg, just feel that side a little bit different, maybe. Yeah, and then you can move more. Yeah. Keep the left hand where it is. Just relax your right hand, maybe on your hip where it wants to go, and then step the right knee back to the left, and then bring yourself up to the knee. Yeah. Cool. So we're going to do the other side from the knees rather than from the front. So lean onto your right knee and just step your left foot forward. So the further forward it goes, the more you're going to ease into it. Yeah, and then slowly sink. So you start to feel this psoas muscle stretching out your right thigh. Really tight feeling is your psoas muscle. So allow yourself to sink down. Have a little bit of sway side to side. And then get ready to take your right hand off to the side and open up your left foot so you can see the sole. And then your left hand just inside the left knee, the inner thigh. And the idea is you draw your right shoulder forward, and that then allows your right hip to turn towards the floor. It's not necessarily going to touch the floor, it's going to go in that direction. Yeah. That's it. So easy into that. Maybe looking behind you over your shoulder. Relaxing your glutes. You feel that in your bottom, feel it in your hip, feel it in your psoas muscle. One more breath in and out. And then gently returning back to the front. Take both hands on the floor. It helps to come up onto your fingertips so you're not kind of being down too much. And then lifting up your left toes and just drawing the left hip back. So you're getting a nice and smooth stretch. So yeah. And again, a little sway side to side. Try moving your hips. You'll see that it's less acute. It's a little bit easier on your body. And then that straight leg again, flat right hand off to the side, and reaching up the left hand. Nice. Yeah. Keep the right hand on the floor, lean on it, and just let that left knee come back to meet the other one. Great. Take your hands back onto the floor. Maybe walk them a little bit further forward than your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Flick the heels away. You're in your high plank. And then down. Stay. Beautiful. All right. So just find a place between your feet and your hands. We get really habitual with our down dogs, so that we kind of go into the same position every time. Make sure the space between them feels right. And also pressing into the heels of the hands, not the fingers so much, so that you can then draw your chest back towards your knees and take a bend in your knees, a micro bend will help you come into your down dog. Also feeling like you're sitting your bottom up to the ceiling rather than down. All right, so leaning onto the left foot, inhale your right leg up behind you, take it up nice and high, come right up onto your left toes, and step it forward in between your hands. Just bring that right foot forward. Nice. No rush at all. Again, from here, bend the back knees so you've got pressure on both feet. Look forward. Press the floor away with your feet. Inhale, lift yourself up. Nice. And then exhale, just softening. Inhale, lifts you up. We're going to take one little twist to the right, but be tempted not to sink into your hips. Just over to the right, nice and high. Yeah. Cool. Inhale back to the center. Left heel down, warrior two. Beautiful. Yeah. So your warrior two, just like your right foot facing out into the front. And over here, so you can see as well. Yeah, out to the front. Yeah, and then flip your front palm. Inhale takes you back. Nice. And then exhale, forearm on the thigh, top arm over the ear. Awesome. Now pressing the right foot to inhale, come up. Now just let your hands drop for a moment. We're going to get really nice and relaxed with our warriors. I'm actually going to face over here because I don't see them on the screen otherwise, but you can still be looking at the front. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale, lift the arms up, and straighten the front leg as well. And reach the hands up so everything's energetic, and then exhale, soften into your warrior. Now notice what happens. You probably start to put more weight on your front foot. Try and keep the back foot weighted as well, so you come back into the center rather than over here. Just feel it in your body for a moment. So inhale, lift it up. Press on the back foot as you come down. Exhale. Yeah, that's nice into the center. And again, inhale, lift you up. Bending the front knee, exhale. Flip the front palm, inhale takes you back. Nice, you got this. Exhale, forearm on the thigh, top arm over here. Perfect. Beautiful. All right, so inhale, come back up. Now turn your right toes into the left side of your mat. Yes. Great. Now, same thing as we were talking about before. Take your hands on your hip creases. So these, this line here, and press into them to draw your hips back. So you come into this straight line, feel like you're a tabletop, and then let your hands just dangle underneath your shoulders. See if you can then reach the floor with them. If not, you can bend the knees until they do, and also take your legs out a little bit wider. You'll find your hands get closer to the floor. So, yeah, nice, good. And really opening up through the chest on an inhale, and as you exhale, bend your elbows and just let yourself hang forward. If you can, let yourself go. Nice. Yeah. And letting your head go as well, as if everything's just falling out of your head. Now from here, walk your hands towards your left leg, and just try to hug yourself into that left leg just a little bit. Yeah, and then let it go, sway over to the other side. So you can keep the legs straight as you move, not to the right. And then back into the center. Take your hands back onto those hip creases, bend your knees, and slowly push the floor away from your feet. Bring this up all the way. Back up. Beautiful. All right. Now turn your right foot to the front. So you're facing me again. That's it. Bend into that front knee. Take your arms up the side, back into your warrior. Right to the front arm. Inhale takes you back. That's it. All right. And then exhale, slowly cartwheel the hands down, step it back into your high plank. And come through the vinyasa any way you like, dropping the knees or not, exhaling to the floor. Ending up in a child's pose. So inhale, push the floor away, knees go out to the sides, toes together, exhale back into your child's pose. Just surrendering here for a moment, feeling the rib cage expanding out on every inhale. Just noticing how your breath is. Are you holding your breath in certain poses because you're unsure, or are you allowing yourself just to be relaxed about it anyway? None of it matters, as long as you're comfortable. Breathing into that space, allowing yourself to get heavy, sinking. One more breath here. Now before we do the other side, we're going to come back up onto all fours. So inhale, come back up onto all fours. So you want to have your knees underneath your hips, so imagine you've got a straight line there. And then walk your hands further forward than your shoulders. So your hands are further away from your knees than they would be in a regular all fours. Yeah. I'm going to thread the needle. So then inhale the right arm up. And then exhale, take it underneath the left, so the right shoulder comes down to the floor, the side of the head on the right. And the left hand can stay where it is. It's a really nice shoulder stretch if it allows. If it doesn't, then don't take it. It's too much. Yes, it's not my problem. All right. Don't do anything if it feels uncomfortable, then just sit down. There's the other side. All right, one more breath here. Press into your left hand to inhale, come back up. So the important thing is with this, if my hips go too far back, I'm shortening the space to come underneath. It's harder to get underneath, whereas if your hips are above your knees and you take your hands to the foot, there's more room. Yeah? So we're going to do that on the other side. So we're going to lift up our left hand. Inhale to get the length first, and then use that space. Exhale. Travel it through. Let yourself come down with your left shoulder, the side of your head. And then that right hand can either stay on the floor to support you, or you bring your right hand behind your back. It's up to you, whatever you prefer. Just watch your balance. Breathing in. And breathing out. Rest on the right hand, so inhale to come all the way back up. Yeah. All right. Tuck your toes under, back into your down dog. Stretch. Nice. Good. All right. So we're going to do the other side. So taking the weight onto the right, we're going to have your left leg up, right up into the sky, and right up onto your toes, really nice and lifted. And then when you're ready, step the left foot forward in between your hands. Take your time getting there, there's no rush. Always good to bend the back knee so both feet are really grounded. Press the floor away, inhale, lift you up. And then exhale again, drop in the ball. So we want to twist to the left, so inhale, lift you up. And then twist to your left, try not to sink into the hips, just feel the shoulder blades squeezing together. Inhale back to the center. Right heel down, torso moves, you're in warrior two. Yeah, nice. All right, so let's just flip the hands up towards the ceiling. We'll do that same exercise again. Inhale, lifting up straight with the foot bed. As you breathe out, bend the left knee, but press on the right foot so you don't come too far forward. Cool. Inhale, lift you up. And then exhale. And again. palm, inhale takes you back. Exhale, forearm on the thigh, top on the toe. Yeah. So again, you can kind of keep your body quite light and not letting too much weight come onto the forearm. Take it as far as you like. Breathing into that space. Alright. Do you know what? Just take a triangle from here. So inhale, come back up, and as you do, straight your front leg. So the triangle, sorry I can't in front of you, which I would normally do because the screen I have to stay here. But with your triangle, the main thing is your hips are very important. So take your hands onto your hips. Make sure both legs are straightish. And you see how my knees can still bend a little bit? That's good. You want to be able to move in all directions. But take your hips and then just move them to the front as much as they'll go without yanking them too much. Now straighten the front leg a bit more. Lifting up your left hand. Try and keep your right hand on the right hip so you're guiding it forward. And then reach as far as you can reach. Now feel the right hip moving forward. As the lower you come, the more you move forward, and the left hip comes back. And then bring the left hand down. Yeah. Now keep this nice straight lower back. But take your right hand on your right shoulder and just the shoulder moves, not the back, just the shoulder. And then the top arm come up. You might find that you can move your left hip further forward and the left hip further back. Yeah. Now try not to put too much weight on the left hand so you can really put yourself up nice and high. Nice and lifted, nice and open. Yeah. And then bend the front knee to come back out of it. Swivel your hips around, the feet around the other way. I know you'll be facing away from me, but just taking the direction cues. Have your feet maybe a little bit closer together, it's easier. Or the big warrior feet. Yeah. And the same thing. So take your left hand on your left hip and guide it towards your front foot. As much as your hips will turn. Now reach your right hand out and reach forward. So draw the hips back. The left hip moves forward, the right hip moves back, and then bring the right hand down. And then straight up front leg a little bit more maybe. So we bring, yeah, that's it. So you straight from right leg down, that's it. Both legs are straight. Nice. So keep your left hand, just feel that lower back and see if it feels like you can almost stick up to your bit, like one out nice and straight. And then just take your left hand with the shoulder and open that up to the ceiling. And then the top hand. It's just a way of saving your sacrum. So the left hand will now lift up to the ceiling. That's so nice. Breathe in. Make sure you're breathing. And always come out of it. Bend the front knee and bring it all the way up. Push the floor away. And then bring your feet back to face the center. So you're facing me again. That's so great. Now we're going to step the right foot to the left to go up to the front of your mat. Beautiful. All right, we're going to take a couple of balances. So we'll just start with your tree pose. If you feel like you're a bit of a wobbler, then it's quite nice to come off the mat. Even this tiny bit of, 2 millimeters or whatever can make you a little bit wobbly. So find yourself grounded. I'm going to take the tree pose to start because it's a good one. Take the weight onto your left foot, I will mirror you. So go onto your left foot. Find the balance on the left foot, and then the right foot can either come onto the ankle, shin, or above the knee. Just avoid the knee itself. You don't press against your knee joint. So above or below the knee, that is the ankle or not. Find that space and then draw the thigh out to the side. Yes. And then also the key thing is, doesn't matter whether you're on the floor or not, the key thing is finding a focal point ahead of you. I recommend about 3 meters on the floor ahead. So work with just one spot, one focal point. And press the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Now wherever the hands want to go, take them there. It's usually easier to the side. Yes. See if you can let go of the knee joints. You might be locking your knee. You'll be feeling the muscles in your ankle. There's so many little ligaments there. It's normal. Feel something going on there. And then whenever you want to, you can start to bring the hands up if it feels right. If it feels like you're going to go way off, notice the tipping point and bring the hands back down again. So play around with your own balance. See if you can not grip the floor with your toes. And notice when you do fall, how you respond. You just come back in the same relaxed way. It's a really good thing to do if you've got a very busy mind. Taking a balance is good. Alright, nice. And then slowly bring yourself back out. And then give the standing leg a little bit of a shake, because you'll be feeling it, I know. And then take all the weight onto the other foot. So get nice and grounded on your right leg. Again, finding the tissue point, that focal point on the floor, or wherever is good for you. Higher up is more difficult. So if you keep it low, it's easier. And then when you're ready, just getting that leg into position. It might look the same on both sides. That's fine. And then taking the arms to where they feel the most balanced, wherever that is for you. But draw the hip out to the side as well. Really opening up that way. Try to loosen any joints, any muscles that might be clenching to hold your arms there. Releasing your toes, relaxing your knees. Over here. And then bring the knee back out in front. And then release that. And that's another little tip as well with balances. Rather than wait until you lose your balance and fall, if you're thinking, yeah, I can got this, bring yourself out then, and then you're training your mind that you can balance. It's a trick that we play with our mind, with our brain, just reinstating that I can do this, I can hold balance. Yeah. All right, so let's bring ourselves down onto the mat. Bring your hands out in front. See if you can come down without using your hands. It's just a little flexibility thing that they test in some doctor's surgeries for some reason. But keep your hands out in front. Take one leg behind the other and move yourself down to the floor. Very well. You all passed. Too easy. All right, so let's take I'm going to mirror you again. So take your right leg out to the side. And the sole of your left foot just inside that right. And again, just get it nice and easy on both sitting bones. I'm going to take the right arm inside the right leg. And the reason for this is using that as a lever. So if we use that as a bit of a lever, we can then open up the chest and let the top arm come up over the ear. So if it's easier for you, Victoria, to come from the ground up, do that. Yeah, anyone that's struggling with any shoulders, you can always come this way and start to underneath the arm and then overextend. Yeah. Really into that space. And again, think ragdoll. Try not to, be too pointed with it. Yeah, and then gently bring yourself up, bring this arm with you, and you can take that hand behind you, with the fingers pointing away. Lean on it, come to the side of the left leg, and then just push the floor away. You shouldn't be able to feel on your lower back, it's just a side stretch. So just see how it works. Don't do it too much. And also bring yourself all the way back. Awesome. All right, now this leg that's extended, bend it just a little bit. Take your hands behind you so that you can lift your bottom up and turn towards that extended leg a little bit more. So it's more in the center of your torso. And then again, it will sway side to side. The more this knee is bent, the easier it's going to get. We're going to think chest to thigh rather than head to toe. When we think head to toe, we tend to round the back and do this. But if we think chest to thigh, all we've got to focus on is this area here. So it kind of keeps the back a bit straight. You might kind of like feel like you can wobble your hips around a little bit, and then just allow the weight of your body to come over the thigh. Or if that's too strong, you can just stay up nice and high. But try and feel like you're sticking your bottom out behind you so that you get a longer back rather than too much. Just really into that space. Allowing yourself to soften with every out breath. Moving into your back body. And then gently push the floor away to bring yourself all the way back up. Great. We're going to change your legs, so rock back and then just leave the other leg out to the side. Same thing as we did on the other side, using this arm as a lever. So you really do use it as a lever to kind of push your chest against a little bit, to draw over the chest and knee. And then this top arm, we just lift up. And then allow yourself just to fall over that side. So again, we just heavy here. Closing your eyes, it's nice, it's good. Get a sense of who you are, what you can do. And then your next inhale, lifting yourself up. This hand goes behind. The further back, the easier it is. Fingers pointing away, lean on it, squeeze up the hips with this other hand, and just stretch it out. It feels nice. And then gently bringing yourself back down, turning towards this extended leg. Again, hands on the floor to lift up the bottom, to turn towards that leg a bit. Bending the knee and just thinking, justify. Slowly swaying side to side, maybe a little bit around the side. And honestly, it's millimeters by millimeter, if that. You've got the rest of your life to get there, so there's no rush. Just allowing yourself to be. Gently pushing the floor away. Sound that out. Beautiful. All right. We're going to come down. Just stay seated for a moment while you see what it is I'm doing, and then you're going to just do it in your own time. But we're going to be coming into this position. I'll take you into it. But just when we get to this point, we're going to be breathing in. And as we breathe in, you'll notice the hips rise. We're trying to keep everything in time. So breathing in, you go as far as you like, by the way. You don't have to go beyond a certain area for your back. It's up to you. When you get to your extend, that's where your hands ought to hit the floor behind you. That's the top of your in-breath. And then your exhale, rolling down your spine, and the hands come down at the same time as your sacrum at the end of your breath. So it's a lovely meditative way to move, and you can be as careful as you like. But bring yourself down onto your back with your feet hip width apart. And my advice is that you first of all reach for your heels, but then walk them slightly further away. If they're too close to your hands, it's too acute on your lower back. So we just want this to be nice and relaxing rather than anything else. So when you're ready, inhale, push into the feet, lift up the bottom, and take the hands back. Now, if you don't want to use your bottom coming off the floor, you can keep it grounded. It's the same movement. Exhale, the hands come all the way as you roll down the spine. But just do it in your own time, your own breath. So moving really meditatively, slowly. Aligning the movement with your breath. Two more of these in your own time. No rush. But when you come to your last one, you want to come back down, and then just bring up your right knee. We're going to take a pigeon pose, but lying down pigeon pose. So bring your right ankle just over your left knee. And then you want to take your hands inside. Your right hand goes in between your legs, grabs behind the back of your left thigh, lift up that the foot, and then use this right elbow against your right thigh to push it away, and bring your left hand bring your left thigh in towards your body. You can let your head just go back on the floor because you don't want to have to hold your head up. But keep drawing the right elbow into the right thigh to push it away, and your left thigh in towards your body. So you start to feel, hopefully you'll feel a tightness down your right glute. Feel quite tight in your right glute. So stretching out that little tiny piriformis muscle. You can bring the left knee in as much as you want to. The bottom come off the floor at once. It's all good. Breathing here. And then gently release. Now keep your right foot where it is. Take your hands out to the sides, and then let your right knee roll to the floor. So you're coming into a little bit of a twist here. So a lying twist. It's too strong. But don't worry, just let your left leg go straight. Do it that way. It's up to you. So nice, something really nice and heavy here. Again, don't think about it as a pose. See if your left leg can go straight, Victoria. That's it. And then that right leg just roll out as far as it will go. It doesn't have to touch the floor. It's just going that way if it wants to. And then roll back into the center. Bring both knees back in with you. I'm going to swap the sides for the pigeon pose. So take your left heel just above your right knee. And take your your left hand through your legs. Grab the back of your right thigh, and then use your left elbow against your left thigh. Keep drawing the right thigh towards you until you can feel that stretch in the glute on the left hand side. Breathing into that space. Pushing the elbow into the left leg. One more breath here. And then release it. Take your hands out the sides. I think that's maybe a bit complicated on the other side. So let the right leg go straight, and then let the left hip just roll over the right. It doesn't have to touch the floor, you just take a very gentle twist here. Relax. And then roll back into the center. Now bring both knees back up again. You take a happy baby. So just taking your hands on either side of your outside edges of your feet. Take your legs quite wide. So you look like a happy baby. Yeah, if you don't touch your feet, it's fine. You can just hold on to your legs. It doesn't matter. Either way. And rock and roll side to side. So you can feel your sacrum nice and flat on the floor. Now I'm going to come up into a very, very small, I don't even want to call it a shoulder stand, but we're just going to rock up the bottom just so your hands go underneath your pelvis. So just get a nice little rounded back. Yeah. And maybe you can then do some aerial moves with your legs if that feels nice. It's not like a full-on shoulder stand. Be really careful about your neck. Maybe the knees will bend either side of your ears. Maybe the feet will come to the floor. It's up to you. Don't go beyond anything that feels natural. Please don't compromise your body. If your bottom's not coming off the floor, you could just have your legs straight up. So you can enjoy that pose and self-settle there. Then just relax your legs. And then bring them down. Now, when you're lying in a shavasana, you can either have your heels on the floor or have your knees bent. It's quite nice to flatten out your lower back and just have your knees bent for a while. Or you might prefer to stick your heels to the floor. But finding something that feels okay for you and that you can let go. That's the important thing. It's just letting go of any effort. So feel relaxed enough that you can just get nice and soft in your body. I'll turn off the light so it's not too bright. But yeah, just get nice and comfortable. So that you can relax your eyes, relax your body, you can feel everything softening. To the floor. Just find that comfy space where you can let go. And if you've got your hands by your sides, just turn your palms up. So that your shoulders can relax away from your ears. Just feeling the body surrender. Noticing how the body feels post practice. Notice how the blood flow is now zooming around your body, oxygenated. Lovely feeling that you get at the end where you can just let go of any effort. Just enjoy your body going back into that recovery mode. So imagine that gravity is just holding you. The earth is supporting you. Just let yourself feel suspended in a space with no effort whatsoever. Noticing all the contact points in the floor, feet, pelvis, back of your head, shoulders, whole body, letting go. Just noticing your breath. Noticing the breath coming in and out of your body. No need to breathe a certain way. See if you can notice your breath without changing it. On a third party, an observer to your breath. And you can notice many things. It might be that it's short, breath or long, deep or shallow. The breath is coming into your belly or not. Maybe feel the chest moving or not. Taking your awareness behind your eyelids. Just noticing whatever shade of color comes up behind your eyelids. You're keeping your visual awareness there. Just imagining the breath coming in through your fingertips into the chest space, and back out again, over the shoulders, down the arms, and back out of the fingertips again. breath coming in this way, and leaving the same way. Just taking your awareness to your fingertips. Tips of your fingers and those sensitive part of your hands. And sometimes just by taking our awareness there, we can feel sensations. Sometimes it might feel like pins and needles. It might just feel a bit numb. Just observing any sensations that are up. Just scanning the body to see if there are any spaces that still feel a little bit constricted. Any muscles being softened, ankles, hips, around the knees, shoulders, and your jawline. Allowing your face to soften. There we go. Just keeping that nice sense of letting go of softness. Your next inhalation, taking your arms up and over your head behind you. And then just rolling over to your right hand side, just rolling onto the side, just getting nice and using your left hand just to push the floor away and bring yourself up to sitting, keeping your eyes closed so that you're aware of the transition as you move back into a comfortable seated position. And again, a sense of arrival, I mean, slightly different sense of arrival than more relaxed and softer. Noticing your breath. Noticing that stillness you created. And very gently open your eyes. Just slowly letting the light in. Just really nice and easy. Yourself back to the room. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the streaming as well. Yeah, so moving mindfully from here really into the rest of the day. The stillness that you create post yoga or meditation and or you can kind of take with you. You just keep the same awareness as you move. Yeah. Don't worry about your mats. I will give them away. Just try to keep that sense of